Howdy, howdy. How do you like my hibiscus? It's pretty cute, isn't it? Sorry about the noise. I'm on a main road at the moment. I have had a number of people reach out to me over the course of the last few days asking me what happened to the house that I was Airbnb-ing and how come I'm living in a van. And it seems to be a common question that I'm getting asked lately, and that's understandable considering that for 3 years I was running an Airbnb out of my house that I was renting in Tugun with my daughter. So I thought I'd come on and just be raw and real, which is the only way I roll, and just tell it like it is. So I'll go back a little bit to when I was unemployed because of COVID and the Dream Guard show had finished and there were no events, there were no speaking gigs or anything, and so I started to work at Woolworths part-time doing night fill in the evenings. And I then got a job also further down the track working for Bond University. But it was during this time that I was living in an apartment in Varsity Lakes on the Gold Coast with my daughter. And one of my friends offered me a really amazing opportunity back in September 2020, which was right at the beginning pretty much of COVID. She offered me the opportunity to move into a house that she'd bought and to Airbnb it with the agreement, understanding, all verbal, that the money that I would raise through the Airbnb platform would be going into a trust account, which would enable me to buy the house off her. So it would be a deposit, a loan deposit that would enable me to buy the house off her. And we discussed a price and agreed to that. There were discussions about having it written legally up, and at the time my friend was away a lot, and so there weren't many opportunities to actually sit down together and get it all written up in a legal contract. And because I'm a very trusting person, and yes, you could call me naive and stupid, I trusted her and I believed that she would follow through. So for 3 years, my daughter and I lived in this house, beautiful home near the beach, and ran an Airbnb. During that time, I was also working 2 other jobs. So I was working 3 jobs, really, like my time was just so tight. I'd go from one job to the next, and I had to schedule my Airbnb calendar in to make sure that I was there to do the changeovers and the cleaning and that kind of thing as well. And we sacrificed a lot, my daughter and I. We sacrificed the privacy of our home because we shared the home with complete strangers that were staying with us, Airbnb guests. And during COVID, these were people that were chasing borders, trying to get across borders before lockdowns. We had people even come into the home at some point with COVID. And it was a really stressful time for my daughter and I. Like I said, we did sacrifice a big part of our privacy to share the home with strangers. But with the understanding that we were sacrificing for a goal, and that goal sole purpose was to work hard like this so that we would have our own home eventually. And I, during that time, became a super host, and I really enjoyed the Airbnb. Like, I met so many beautiful people. I made some lovely friends, and you know, I'm a very outgoing sort of person, so I enjoyed the social interaction. But there was also a price to pay, and that was our privacy. And I remember quite often I would be going to Woolworths nightfall and be quite concerned about my daughter's safety and our rescue dog, Rocky Rockstar, who is actually the star of the children's books that I've written. And yeah, I would be going to Woolworths nightfall and then worrying whether my daughter would be safe, because strangers would be rocking up to the house and checking in. In July last year, my so-called friend approached me and said that she has decided that she wants to sell the house. Now, this was 7 months earlier than we had agreed upon. So we were talking about sort of a January 2024 agreement where I would be looking to Airbnb the entire house, move out. My daughter was already planning to move out with her boyfriend and her dog, Rocky Rockstar. And that was kind of the loose plan, that I would be getting finance, and the money that I had raised over that period, which was approximately $100,000, was in a trust fund. So my girlfriend approached me and said, no, she wants to sell the house now. She can get a lot more for it than we agreed upon, and she set about to do that. I was really, really devastated about that. And on top of that, she then divulged to me that the entire money, the funds that I had raised for the Airbnb business that I was running in the house, equated to about $100,000, was all spent. And she'd been living off that money while travelling. So not only had my daughter and I sacrificed 3 years of our privacy living in a home, but all the work, the hard work, was all in vain. The money was gone, and not only that, but my daughter had to move out 4 months earlier than she planned, so she had to go and loan some money so that she could find a place and with Rocky and move out 4 months earlier. And I realised very quickly that I couldn't afford the rental prices on my own with my income. So my only option really was to move into my van Halen. And so that's what I did. And yeah, $100,000 down the drain, 3 years of working until I reached burnout, basically. And I just had to get away. So January, I decided that I needed to just leave Woolworths and take some leave from my job at Bond University, which I love, and just hit the road and just take some time out and focus on me. And I had this bucket list kind of wish to travel around Australia, and that was the reason I got Van Halen or converted Van Halen. But I thought that was going to happen later than it did. And so I realised that I couldn't afford rent, and I moved in here while I was still working at Woolworths, and I saved some money, a few $1,000s, put it in the bank, and hit the road. And I've been living off my savings while traveling, and that's why I'm living in a van. So to answer your question, I hope I have. I really appreciate people reaching out and just being totally honest and asking the questions, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you put forward. So I hope I've done that. I want to share some exciting news that's coming. I have decided that I want to reignite a really incredible global project that I started some years ago. And this project started from an incredibly inspirational story, and it's had a global impact. And it's a project that significantly helps mental health. A number of my friends have been an integral part of this project. So I don't want to give away too much, because it's something exciting that I want to share with you soon. And as I said, it's a project that has been dear to my heart for many years. And during COVID, it was something that I had to put on the back burner, and now it's going to come back to life. And so I'm really, really excited to share it with you guys, and I want you all to get on board it. So keep posted, and soon enough I'll be sharing this project, and really, really excited to make sure that you're all a part of that. So I'll catch you soon.